We heard from Manika earlier about India's aim to be a manufacturing hub. We know that in terms of electronics exports, they've doubled in the year to March. In terms of smartphone exports, they've amounted to about $11 billion. How do you build on that growth? Take away the title, the crown, from China.
So I don't think we are in the running for any crown. I certainly think the way we see this opportunity is a real one. We have been a very recent entrant into this whole manufacturing space. Until 2014, our electronics footprint on the global value chains was almost insignificant. And it's over the last 8 to 9 years that we have created a framework of both policies and enabling environment to really catalyze electronics manufacturing. And our broad goals are summarized in a document that we released in 2021, which is that we expect to, by 2026, hit about $300 billion of electronics manufacturing on an entire consolidated basis, and have at least $100 billion of exports. And the strategy for that is very simple. We've started with a very successful smartphone product, and we are broadening and deepening the electronics ecosystem as we go and move forward. And we've got the policies and frameworks in place to do that.
Well, the issue really is tariffs on electronics. Some say they're among the highest in the world. I mean, that is a barrier to the growth that you're seeing, no?
Well, yeah, look, I think there will always be people who say this is see things as half full and half empty. We are clearly very, very laser focused on our mission of a $300 billion electronics industry by 2026. And all of the necessary reforms, including tariff rationalization, we do from year to year as we introduce more and more product and platform categories into the electronics ecosystem. So I don't look, yes, I think people, if you look back at pre-2014, there were tremendous number of barriers to India being a viable electronics presence in the GVCs. But we have made steady progress. And I think in the coming years, we are at a kind of an inflection point, and we'll see in the next coming years almost an all-in effort by the government to make sure that we really scale up even more from where we are today.
Minister, former RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan came out, I think, recently in the last couple of months or 3 months ago and talked about how India was essentially just using screwdriver technology. Also talked about the net exports of phones remaining negative because of the import of components. You vigorously rebutted him, but tell me more about why he's wrong.
Oh, he's wrong on the facts. He's wrong on many, many aspects. And I think it will take longer than these 5 minutes that you have with me to explain why he's wrong. Look, Raghu is wrong because I think he is conditioned from a decade-old view of the Indian economy that it should not diversify, it should be very focused on services. And in the post-COVID world, this opportunity of these diversified supply chains and value chains in electronics represents a big opportunity for India. He probably doesn't get it. That's fine. There are many things that an economist necessarily doesn't always understand. We see this as a real opportunity, and we see this as something that is about multiple phases. We are today at the first phase of building this electronics ecosystem where we are hitting scale and volumes. Yes, the value added per unit will be small, but as we hit scales, and people who understand the electronics business understand this is about volumes. This is exactly what China did. This is exactly what Vietnam did. And this is exactly the playbook that India is adopting, which is that you hit volumes, on a per unit basis, the value add will be small. But as we expand the ecosystem and as we create more and more opportunities for components, the deepening of the electronic system, the broadening, and as the volumes hit really global level scale, these add up to being significant value added on a consolidated basis. So I don't want to necessarily get into a point-by-point rebuttal of Raghuram on this program, but I'll be more than happy to have that in a slightly longer format interaction with you.